Today's title is Blockchain, Base Application in Education, used for keeping academic credential. There's a new technology that has power to revolutionize how you do businesses and how the world interacts. What is it? It's called blockchain. What is it? How does it work? When you heard the word internet in the early 90s, it seems elusive, something that is unimportant that would never affect your life. But today, it affects you. And a lot has transformed businesses, commerce, communication, even movie and musics. This is something new, but it is expected to have the same impact like the internet. It is not artificial intelligence, not a big data, it's blockchain. The new technology began when Satoshi Nakamoto released a white paper in 2008 and introducing a purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash, known as Bitcoin. It allows people to transact peer-to-peer and trust each other by using collaboration and cryptography. It allows people to exchange assets and perform transactions without third party. It is like making a money transaction from one to another in different countries without involving banks. Imagine the world without intermediaries. How do we trust the technology when transactions are recorded as blocks and it posted across 10,000s of computers around the globe? You need to change the whole computer to change the transaction. Difficult to understand? Let's imagine a sheet of paper that has 25 lines. When the sheet is filled with 25 transactions, once the page validated, it is added a set of previously validated sheet. It can't be changed. You need to change the whole sheet that recorded in different parties' computers. The sheet of paper is equal to a block. To hack the block network, someone would have to gain control of the majority of the computers in the networks. This is extremely difficult to do. Therefore, there is no longer a single point of failure. This is what makes blockchain more secure than what we have today. For the purpose of this video, we intend to apply the blockchain technology into students' academic credential. To start, we can see today that there are three major problems with how we transact online. Users have low privacy. Fraud prevention efforts cost businesses a lot of money, and password-based authentication leads to frequent data breaches. Blockchain is immutable and the answer to solve this problem. Having said that, the technology can be used to keep students' academic credential. Students may need their records for any purposes. Blockchain provides the record almost any time, anywhere, and the best part is it cannot be changed and thus it is trusted. So we might use blockchain to record the fact that I paid you for keeping students' records, and the service provided is records kept for as long as you paid for it. In this case, we need two or more parties because it is very important that the students does not have the ability to go and update his record without permission from the academic institution that issued the records. And it's also equally important that the institution is not be able to update the record without his consent or permission. And so, there's two or more parties coming together, recording an important announcement or important data point. So, if a student wants to notify someone about his academic credentials, he needs to prove some aspect of his identity. Today, three things would happen. The student passed the required information to others. providing some form of proof, and then the recipient checks, usually a centralized database, to see if the information match. Examples of identity data today include your name, your address, date of birth, identity card number, place of employment, and many other attributes. A lot of that data currently originates and lives in centralized databases. Blockchain technology will help students solve this problem or remove them altogether. With the technology, students won't pass along their identity data like they do today. Businesses won't need to store identity data like they do it today. Instead of passing on a date of birth, a user will be able to pass along a claim that they are over a certain age. Instead of passing on an address, a user will be able to provide a claim that they are a resident of a certain country or a state. Instead of passing along a government-issued identification number, a user will be able to pass along a claim that they have a valid ID and so on. In other words, instead of sending private information, students will soon be able to send claims that certain information is true. The claim will be signed by a issuing party using cryptography. The signature will serve as an evidence that is true and valid claim, and for this reason, they are called verifiable claims. And users will then be able to choose to show that verifiable claims to a verifying party who will then be able to check that the signature is valid, the claim is still valid, and then the claim belongs to the users and to nobody else. These verifiable claims will stay with the users on their mobile or other devices, not stored in centralized databases like identity data is today. This technology will lead to fewer privacy violations, less identity theft, and fewer data breaches. If education institutions need to issue certificates and graduate examination credential to potential employers, students can share their certification with potential employer, and the education institution can verify that the certification is valid, speeding up how quickly newly graduated student can begin working and ensuring the student's credential cannot be tampered with. Thank you for your time, and I hope you help us change the world by building a student credential using blockchain technology. Bye!